I'm the next Floyd. I'm the next Sugar Ray. They can hate me. It is what it is.
So recently, Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson went back and forth on Twitter. Or I should take it back. Oscar Valdez is not even man enough to go back and forth with Shakur Stevenson. It was obviously only Shakur responding to Valdez and poking at him. Like usual, Valdez is as quiet as a church mouse. So without wasting any time, let's get straight to it. First, Oscar Valdez posted an alligator emoji. So Shakur Stevenson responded with, "Sign the contract, duck, duck, duck emojis." Then a day later, Oscar Valdez ignores Shakur to post hashtag no boxing, no life. And we all know what that stands for. No ducking, no life, no cheating, no life, so on and so forth. But like Shakur Stevenson told Oscar Valdez, the ducking season is over. UC Top Rank said, "Let the games begin." Now you got Oscar Valdez trying to play duck, duck, goose with Shakur Stevenson. But guess what? He can run, but he can't hide. We can still see his duck trail, meaning he has nowhere to run. It's time for Oscar Valdez to finally grow some cojones and fight Shakur Stevenson, the man who put fear in his heart. At this point, Oscar Valdez is better off having cojones implanted if that's what he has to do in order to get the cojones he needs to face his fear in Shakur Stevenson. As Oscar Valdez let an entire country down. Man, at the very least, fight like a man. Even if Oscar Valdez loses, at least he loses with honor instead of cowarding, making a whole country look bad. Furthermore, the million-dollar question, what is the reason behind the ultimate delay of Oscar Valdez signing the contract? There's only two possible reasons. The first reason, Oscar Valdez is still drinking his herbal tea, meaning he have not completed his steroid cycle yet. If you want to know in detail how that entire process works, I had the pleasure of talking to Victor Conti where he broke it all down. So if you're interested, I'm going to leave the link for that interview in the comment section below. Now, obviously, that's the first possibility. The second possibility is that Oscar Valdez is looking to complete another year of ducking Shakur Stevenson. It ain't no secret Oscar Valdez gave up his title at 126. He vacated his title to Shakur Stevenson in order to duck the fight when Shakur was his mandatory, following Canelo's duck print to a T. It's been 4 years since Oscar Valdez been ducking Shakur Stevenson, and we still counting. Till the day Oscar Valdez stops ducking and finally grows some cojones. Last but not least, I heard Shakur Stevenson say,
"You put out a tweet, the ducking season is over." What did you think was the determining factor in him having to take the fight?
I mean, you know, he a Mexican fighter. At the end of the day, them Mexican fans, they're not gonna let you duck.
They put pressure on you.
Yeah, they put that pressure on you. So he in the gym with Canelo. Canelo don't duck nobody. Canelo fights every single body from whatever weight class. And you know, I feel like even Eddie Renerso or whoever, like I know they all inside of his ear telling him like, you have to take this fight. This is a fight you have to take. You can't not fight this guy. This is a guy who's been calling for you since years before. So now you got to sit down and fight this dude.
So how done is this deal? Anything signed? What can we?
Right now, we waiting on Valdez. I think he's still a little nervous right now. You know, he's still he's like halfway in the door. Like he's almost there. He almost there, but you know, at the end of the day, it's
somebody got to go behind him, and somebody got to get behind him and push him in.
Push him, yeah.
Don't add on to that. No, I'm just saying. Look, enough is enough. I'm just saying it on here. Make the damn fight happen, man. Stop playing. Man, you around champs like that was a good point you brought up, Shakur. You around a guy like Canelo, you know, legendary people. Like you got that got to rub off on you a little bit. Damn, I cursed there, pardon me. So
it's exactly the contrary. Canelo Alvarez NBF duck print is rubbing off on Oscar Valdez. But Shakur, on the other hand, he's saying Oscar Valdez needs to stop ducking and be like his teammate Canelo, who fights the best. And I'm over here shaking my head because it sounds like Shakur Stevenson is not informed. Or better yet, he's not aware of old media deception. Trust me, you do not want Oscar Valdez to move like Canelo Alvarez, because then
you never gonna get the fight, man. You're a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. Man, you fight with nobody. Hey, you are a champion, but are you? Payday. You want payday. I know that.
just ask Demetrius Andrade. He's in the same shoes you in. I really don't understand how these fighters are not seeing the pattern of all of them getting ducked. To make matters worse, not getting any credit by old media for being the boogeyman. In fact, they flip the script and say these fighters on the coincidental list haven't fought anyone. They say that about Devin Haney, just like they say that about Shakur, just like they say that about Andrade. They say that about Crawford. It don't matter who you are. If you're on the coincidental list, that narrative by old media will apply to you. Crawford could knock out Gamboa, then becomes undisputed, beating Postal, cleaning the whole division, beating Flex Diaz, who's a gold medalist, knocks out Jeff Horn, who beat Pacquiao, knocks out Benavidez, knocks out Kell Brook, then knocks out Sean Porter, who never been stopped before, while calling out Errol Spence, Jamel Charlo, and anybody that's deadly. It's free smoke for Bud. And they still say Crawford haven't fought anybody. On the other hand, Canelo Alvarez, who's ducking literally everybody from Charlo, Andrade, and Benavidez, only to fight European B or C level fighters, they say he the best. He fought everybody. The double standards are unreal in the sport of boxing. And believe it or not, majority of these boxers follow the old media deception. Like, when are you people gonna wake up? If you don't wake up today, you will never wake up. Just look at the boxing landscape. Oscar Valdez ducking Shakur Stevenson. Lomachenko ducking Devin Haney. Teofimo ducking Devin Haney. Ryan ducking Devin Haney. Kambosos ducking Devin Haney. Ryan ducking Javante. Virgil Ortiz calls out Crawford. Clout chase off Crawford, but doesn't want to fight Crawford. Nor does he want any part of Jaron Ennis. Munguia, he's the mandatory for both Andrade and Charlo. Would you believe Munguia have been the mandatory for 3 freaking years and have yet to activate his mandatory position because he's waiting Andrade and Charlo out till they move up out of the division so he can fight for the vacant title. Munguia turned down 3 Andrade offers to fight for the title. The Mexican-style Gennady Golovkin have been ducking Charlo and Andrade for the past 4 years. Canelo Alvarez have been ducking the Fabulous Four of his time, Charlo and Andrade, for the past 8 years. I repeat, Canelo have been avoiding Charlo and Andrade for the past 8 years to this day. Canelo turned down $40 million guaranteed to fight Andrade for undisputed. Canelo vacated his belt to Jamal Charlo when Charlo was Canelo mandatory, just like Oscar Valdez did to Shakur Stevenson when Shakur was his mandatory. So when Shakur Stevenson tells Oscar, be like Canelo, oh no, trust me, no you don't. Because if that's the case, Oscar Valdez will continue avoiding Shakur Stevenson for the next 5 years, like Canelo did and still doing till this day to Charlo and Andrade, while old media is still calling him the best. Do you want that type of treatment, Shakur? I don't think so. You don't want them to be calling Valdez the best, better than you, while he's avoiding you for the next 5 years to come. So be careful what you ask for, because Canelo's entire team is full of ducks. Andy Ruiz ducked Luis Ortiz for the longest. Now Luis Ortiz is 44 years old and can barely stand up. Ryan Garcia clout chased Tank, then ducked Tank. Ryan ducking Devin Haney. Oscar Valdez gave up his WBO title to Shakur and ducking him till this day, just like Canelo gave up his WBC title to Charlo and still ducking him till this day along with Andrade. So again, these fighters on the coincidental list has to be aware of the NBF league in the sport of boxing, the No Black Fighters League. And guess who's the pioneer of that? Canelo Alvarez. When Canelo created the NBF Witness Protection franchise in order to duck Charlo. That's what Canelo legacy will be remembered for. You don't see Crawford duck a dangerous mandatory in Sean Porter. Absolutely not. That's what makes Crawford boxing pound for pound #1, as he has been for the past 5 years. However, if you follow old media deception, they will erase Lomachenko's loss and claim otherwise. Then when Lomachenko loses, all of a sudden Canelo fights a fighter coming off a loss, Avni Yildirim, and bypassed Terence Crawford, even though he took steroids in the past, just like Oscar Valdez. That's another double standard. Oscar Valdez gets to fight while he's on steroids, then robs his opponent. So again, the exact double standards Floyd Mayweather went through are the same triple standards that Terence Crawford had to go through, and they are the same double standards Shakur Stevenson will have to go through because he's on the coincidental list. So it doesn't matter what Shakur Stevenson says in order to please the casual fans, old media, the decafs, in order to get them off his back. At the end of the day, or at least the night, they don't like you anyway. You damn if you do, damn if you don't. Due to the obvious reason, Shakur has the complexion for the neglection. Unlike Canelo, Tyson Fury, Lomachenko, so on and so forth, they have the complexion for the connection to get the ultimate protection. But Shakur doesn't have that type of luxury, since he don't qualify for that health insurance. Therefore, since Shakur is damn if he do, damn if he don't, they don't like him anyway. Why not speak the truth? Why fall for the deception? Why not speak your mind? Why not call a spade a spade? Why not stand up for yourself? Yeah, old media has a huge machine. There's no doubt about it. That's the popular narrative. That's why it's a deception. But again, the truth is also powerful. The truth is like the wave of the ocean. You can't stop the truth from getting to its destination. Even old media Titanic ship that's pushing the deception narrative. And this goes to everybody. It ain't one body. It's everybody on the coincidental list. They all facing the same double standards. It's not a coincidence. It's not a single body. It's literally everybody. They all fall for the same old media deception. Have them discrediting each other to credit the fighter who's cheating, the fighter who's ducking everyone. Because again, it's a deception to those who sleep. It's the popular narrative. What the majority say is what these boxers go by, even if it's a lie, which always goes back and haunts them since they are in them same shoes. So, to all of these fighters on the coincidental list, don't fall for the deception. That's what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said 1,400 years ago. This is a prophecy, believe it or not, which I'm going to leave the link for that video in the comment section below. With the facts being laid out, drop your thoughts in the comment section below, subscribe below, and click on the notification bell to be continued on the next episode of Akhi TV. Peace, and I'm on to the next one.
Canelo, you a bitch. I'm putting it out there. No, I don't like to disrespect men that step into the ring, but then you fighting Kirtland that hasn't been in the ring since Glenn Tapia. When you have an opportunity to fight Demetrius Andre for the WBO, damn, I thought in the sport of boxing, people want to be a champion, to have that title. I understand you got De La Hoya, you got the promotion team, you got the money, you got the contract, you got the country, you got the country behind you, the fan base. But damn, you scared of getting into a fight. I thought you was the man. If I knew some Espanol, I'd hit you up with that too, but damn, come on, man, stop playing. Like shit, man, all I want to do is fight, show people I'm the best in the world. I thank God for everything that comes my way and every obstacle that comes my way, man, I know how to slip and slide in between, man.